everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Frozenopolis. I was on vacation for 2 weeks. We were at the seaside in Croatia in 2 different campsites. We had a wonderful time. The puppy loved it, and she really likes to swim. She's a Portuguese water dog after all. We just had an amazing time, and I'm glad to be back, glad to be recording again, so let's get started with today's episode. As you can probably tell, we're a little bit cleaner inside this room than we were last episode. I decided to take just a couple hours. I just watched a movie and chilled and built a little. Still not perfect, still not great, but better than what we had last time. And I also upgraded our storage a little bit. You can see we have a gold chest from Sophisticated Storage, which is a new thing that Sophisticated Storage did, which normally you have the mod iron chests, I believe, to add different chests. And this is just like Sophisticated backpacks, but just with storage. So you have the stack upgrades, which are the tier 1 and the tier 2 that I have in here. And in here, I just have a tier 1. But basically, this means that we can store, I think, 512 items in a single slot. So we have 412 dirt in a single slot, instead of it taking, I don't know, 6 slots or so. And the upgrades aren't that difficult to make. This one is just a little bit of iron and some wood. And the other one is even more iron. So this is just like that. And it's easy enough to get iron, now that we have an infinite amount of all of the frozen ores over there. So in today's episode, we're going to dive into the next cool Frozen Progress questline, where we need to get some redstone and some gold, which we already have the gold because we mined a bunch of snow outside. So we have 57 gold nuggets. I used a little bit to make the gold chests, but I think this will be enough. So let's make ourselves a redstone coil, like that. We are then going to make our first power source, which is going to be the Sterling Dynamo. In between episodes, I converted all of the flowers into their 16 petal variants, and we can just store them in here. And once we need a couple flowers, we can just grab them out and turn them into dye, for example, what we need right now to make ourselves a machine frame, like this. We're actually going to make another one, and one of these is going to turn into the storage scanner. The other one is going to go on top of our seemingly empty mana pool, which is not, and turn into a machine frame. And the storage scanner we're going to put right here. I have to break this chest, and I think everything's going to spew out. Yep. Did we get the chest at least? We did not. There we go. We have our chest. And the cool part is these open even if there's a full block on top, so we can just easily dump everything in like we had before. And the storage scanner is going to go right underneath here, so we can access it super simply. And for the power, we're going to put it right down here. And we need to supply this guy with coal and or charcoal. We have a little bit of charcoal, so let's toss this in. And this guy doesn't use power unless we take items in and out. How does one link this? Ah, there we go. I had to do the radius. So now it shows all the storages. And it should see the chests here as well. So if we need something from our chests, we can just easily take it out. It uses a little bit of power, and if we put it in, it also uses a little bit of power. I don't know if it export to current container. There we go. Okay. And we can do routable. So these guys will have things that they go inside of. And we can do also all of these. Oh, those are the ones that are empty up here. Hold on. Let's remove these. All right, I have it all figured out. We selected all the routable inventories. I removed all the inventories that we don't need, like the botany pots, the furnaces, the Sterling Dynamo, for example, but everything else is here. I set the sort by amount descending, so we see which items we have the most of, and we can easily work with this. It allows crafts, I believe. I think we can even shift click in here. Yeah, we totally can. And if we then want to craft one, it shows us what we're missing. So that's really, really cool. So now, for example, we need to craft a pulverizer. If I can properly type, we can then click it and we can see what we're missing. So we need 1 redstone flux coil. We can do something like this, craft 1. We're missing a gold ingot. We can craft 1 like that. Wonderful. 2 copper gears and a piston. And that should get us a pulverizer. Awesome. That crafting was so simple. I want to get some energy pipes because we're now getting into machines where we're going to need to split the power into different ways. So we can take the Sterling Dynamo from here and we can slap on an energy pipe, put the dynamo down here, like so. We can still toss in the coal, and then we need a pipe wrench as well. This guy, just 2 flint. Why am I go... We don't need this anymore. Go away. Pipe wrench. Thank you. And we can do something like this, and that way the power can go back into here. And if we want to then set up a pulverizer, we can just toss it right over here, and the power should fill up. Awesome. It's time we make ourselves a block placer and a block breaker, like so. And I think we can put these guys over here. I don't know if these guys require power. They do look like they don't. So we can place one. Maybe we flip this guy around. So if we place you here, and then we take, let's say, a stack of this frozen dye, right? I think you require a pickaxe. That was loud. I wonder, can you mute this? Is there a way where we can mute this? Also, it's super fast. Like, you're too fast for the Orchid to even transform it. Now that we have a bit of iron ore, we can toss it in the pulverizer, and it's gonna turn it. And there we go. We also have some nickel dust, and I believe we combine 1 and 2 to get some Invar blend. Awesome. We can smelt that for some Invar. We're just going to do it in there. The Invar we need to make Invar gears. I'm going to make 2 for now. I can only make another one, but we need 1 for a blast chiller. So we need 2 here, and we need 2 for a magma crucible over here. This is going to make our magma crucible and our blast chiller. And we're going to put this guy right here in the front. That's fine for now. And we need to use the magma crucible to get buckets of lava, and then we can use the blast chiller to make it into 10 obsidian. And then we can actually go into the nether. Awesome. Since melting cobblestone takes a whole bunch of power, you can see we're pretty much draining our Sterling Dynamo to the max, and it's burning as much coal as it can, and we're producing very, very, very little progress in the magma crucible. So that will take ages. So the easier solution is to grab... Can we make like a tank of some kind? Is that a thing that we can do? A fluid cell is one thing. We can we make bronze? Guess we would need an induction smelter for bronze. I mean, that's very doable. Yeah, we can do this. And we can make some bronze. We'll make a fluid cell. We'll go collect some lava, and that should be golden. Here is our induction smelter, and I kind of changed the way I have the power set up over here. I put the Sterling Dynamo right here, and it's outputting power to all of the machines over here. So let's put the induction smelter right here. We're gonna toss in another power cable for the moment, and it's gonna go right here. So we can now grab some tin. We have 3. And a little bit of copper. Thank God it's more copper than tin. And we can toss it in here and turn it into bronze. So the fluid cell requires a few more things if we want to make it. One is cured rubber, which is made with regular old rubber smelted, and we can get that with vines and a water bucket, or flowers and a water bucket. And one cool thing is you can toss vines in a botany pot and you can grow them. So we're slowly but surely growing vines. So we'll get to do that at some point. And the other thing, you require one thermal hardened glass, which is just hardened glass is the easiest one to make. And we need quartz, which we can get in the nether. I think you can also get quartz dust by pulverizing. Yeah, you could get quartz dust by pulverizing the diorite and everything. But we did get a little bit of quartz in one of our loot boxes, so from the mobs. So we can just use that super easily and get ourselves a fluid cell. I do have 4 bronze now, so we can now make our bronze gear, and we can turn that into a fluid cell frame if we get more glass. To make the hardened glass, we're gonna need 1 piece of obsidian, which is gonna be easiest to get if we just jump down. And I think I put some water down below. Yeah, there we go. And get our lava down here if we don't die in the lava. Well, whoops. We have gravestones, so we should be fine. Yeah, there we go. If I do this... Okay, we are back here. Where is our gravestone? Oh, it put it somewhere safe. Nice. That's neat. All right. Anyway, 2 lava buckets. We're going to go and get that cooking up into some hardened glass, and then we're going to come back with a fluid cell and pick up all the lava. And now that I realize that I'm doing this, it would have been probably easier to make like 8 more buckets, and just come down, pick up 8 or 10 lava buckets, and bring them up. But, you know, fluid cell is a fluid cell. We're going to use it in the future, and it's going to be wonderful. So, don't you judge me whatsoever. Okay, you can judge me a little bit. We have our obsidian. I think we do obsidian, nether quartz, and something else? Some sand. In the meantime, we can make our fluid cell frame, take our hardened glass, and turn that into a fluid cell. Nice. We can now put our fluid cell right above our blast chiller. We can set the top to input, enable auto input, and this guy can be set to output on the bottom. And now we have a full-on blast chiller to make ourselves a bunch of obsidian. I kind of solved the whole block breaking issue with all of the ores, basically. You can specify which ore you want to break in the block breaker. So, for example, with the deep slate, we're getting coal and lapis. And you can just toss this in, and now as soon as it transforms into coal and or lapis, it's gonna do its thing. I still don't understand which. I'm gonna turn blocks off. Yeah. Okay, we can live in peace now. I need to switch off the sound for the Orchid somehow. I don't know if we have a muffler. Nice. Okay. No more Orchid noises. Awesome. This is so much more chill. But anyway, we can get some coal ore going, because I need a bunch of coals to keep our Sterling Dynamo up and running. And I was just using campfires to turn wood, but we don't have an infinite amount of wood. Well, we do over time, but not right now. Now that we have 10 obsidian, we can pop into the nether, and I'm just going to toss the nether portal somewhere down here where it's not going to bother us, because the nether portal makes ambient noises, which we can muffle, and, ooh, that's cool. That is very cool particles. Alright, let's go to the nether. We need to pick up a magma block and also a netherrack. Alright, we're in a basalt thingy, delta, which means we can get... Oh, hello lag. Can you load the world, please, game? Are we okay now? Still a bit framey. All of the particles everywhere. Ooh, super framey. Yeah, all of the mobs and everything has to load in. Okay, we need one of these. So let's be strategic of how we get this. Super frame. One of these acquired. Get another one while we're here. And we need some netherrack. So let's go. I don't understand why so lag. Like super. Can't even place blocks properly. Okay, get me one netherrack and then we can get out. Bye nether forever, probably. Hopefully. So the netherrack we toss into our magma crucible to get melted, and this is extremely faster than using cobblestone. Hold on, this stone melts super quickly. Is that the case? No, stone's still slow. Okay, just magma crucible to make lava is just super slow. So the molten netherrack we need to then, I think, put in a bucket. So bucket, nice. And then we can turn the molten netherrack and a blast chiller with an ice shard into some frozen netherrack. And blast chiller with molten netherrack. We also needed a magma block for some reason to apparently make the induction smelter, which doesn't require a magma block at all, which I guess is an oversight on that part. So I already made the induction smelter. Stop tabbing. I have tab to open my inventory instead of E, like most players do. I then can open up my quest book, right? And I want to open up my inventory from the quest book, and I just keep on tabbing through the tabs in the quest book. And it's a little bit annoying. Anyway, rant over. Let's go pick up our induction smelter, because I think that will complete the quest. Yep, there we go. We also did get our frozen netherrack. Also, a good thing about us bringing a bunch of lava over is we can use it for crafting another resource generator that we need right now. So that was all planned, totally. So we're going to put this guy right in here. We're going to say, you're going to make ourselves some frozen netherrack. And then we're going to put a drawer down here below, like so. And we are getting frozen netherrack. And this we can place next to the orchid, I think. No? We place it next to the orchid ignum, which requires a frozen netherrack, the orchid, and a few other petals. That's simple enough to do. Firstly, we're gonna make another orchid. I think I have all the petals correct and everything here. Yep, plus a seed makes us an orchid. Then a light gray, a black, and a red petal, and a frozen netherrack, plus the orchid makes us the orchid ignum. And we can place this next to the mana pool as well, right over here, for example. And we can then take our frozen netherrack. And now this guy should transform. Maybe we have to link this. You are next to the mana pool. So this orchid only works in the nether, so I guess we're gonna have to set up some stuff in the nether, which is disappointing because it's super duper laggy inside of the nether. I don't know what we're gonna do about this. I mean, we can try and make a mana tablet, for which we need either a mana diamond or a mana pearl, and to get ourselves a diamond we need the orchid ignum with some mana, so I guess we would need to go kill an enderman to get a diamond, because it's locked behind the frozen netherrack. Otherwise, I don't know how we're gonna generate mana in the nether. We could potentially make the endoflame, which just requires some coal to burn for fuel. So we can do 2 brown, a light gray, and a red. There's 1 endoflame. Let's make another one, right? There we go. Then we need another mana spreader and another mana pool. I set up the orchid here in the nether, and we have a few different ores, even the 1 diamond ore that we need to get ourselves some diamonds. So I'm going to collect that, and I think that should be a quest complete as well. Yep, we have all 3 now completed, which is wonderful. And the way I have these endoflames going infinitely pretty much, so long as I supply coal, is the open crate is constantly going to try and drop coal here on the pressure plate. And when the pressure plate is triggered, it turns off this torch right underneath here, which turns on this torch. And you can see it happening pretty much. And it depowers this block, which makes the hopper drop 1 block into the open crate, or 1 coal into the open crate, and then it drops it on the pressure plate. So this is kind of just how this loop works. And I decided to just chunk load this chunk. So this works when I'm gone, and it slowly but surely, yeah, turns ores into nether ores. So I can come in here with a block placer and 3 block breakers if I want to, and auto collect everything. I don't think we're gonna need that much automation with this. Plus eventually we can possibly get some sort of better mana production in here, and we can just have this running constantly. Now we have all 3 ores, and we can just toss them in the pulverizer, and our dynamo is out of power. Have some sulfur, please. There you go. So this guy will start working, and we can toss in the diamond ore. I should have probably tossed in some flint, but that's okay. I think this will get us at least a couple diamonds, yeah. 2 and an additional chance for another one. Nice, diamonds. And I'm assuming I just need to grab a gold ingot, which we have in here. And then quartz. Nice. Chapter complete. So in the quest book, the next step is to make frozen inert crystal ore, which is made with the orchid, and frozen stone, which I did add to our automation wall. We have a frozen netherrack, regular netherrack, and frozen stone. I think regular netherrack is just good to have on hand. We can make nether bricks with it if we want to build with it or something. It's really nice. But the frozen stone can be put next to the orchid to make cinnabar, niter, apatite, or niter, and we need the inert crystal, so it needs to do the right thing. There we go, quest complete. But I think we'll leave off on these ores for the moment, because we need some automation. We need some more mana production. We need to automate the orchid to grab us all of the different ores, to break us all of the different ores. We can try and even auto-craft the pickaxes and everything to get all this working. And I don't know where we get into refined storage, or if it even is in this pack. Do we have anything? No refined storage, no applied logistics. Or we have RF tools. And from RF tools we have the modular storage, and we have the storage scanner. So I assume that's the only thing that we can have for storage. Maybe we could use Botania for storage, so that's kind of neat as well. What we do have is laser IO, so I can start playing with that as well. That could be a cool thing. And this doesn't require much, just a bit of quartz, a bit of redstone. So I guess we need to automate ores first of all anyway. I actually figured out we don't need Botania. I don't know if it uses lava. I'm gonna see if that gets used up, but we're gonna test. We can put frozen granite, a waxed block of copper. It has to be waxed? No, okay, it can be any block, okay. But we can do a block of copper with frozen granite and some lava, and it's going to make frozen copper ore. So we basically don't need to do the whole mana production for ores and breaking them and placing them and everything. We can just use igneous extruders. So I'm making a couple pieces of Constantan so we can make one of these guys and we can test. There is an igneous extruder. Okay, let's see how this works. Frozen granite on the bottom, lava here, and then copper here. Nice. That doesn't use up the lava because it just... Oh, this is going to be so nice. So we just need to make enough nickel and copper to make enough Constantan ingots to make more igneous extruders. And we need a bit more invar and everything, but we can just use this to make the ores, and then we can auto output out of this guy if we give it an augment. And we can, or just we can just auto pull into a redstone furnace probably. Redstone furnace can probably smelt the ores, right? Yeah, frozen silver ore, yeah, we can just use furnaces. We can just make power out of something. I don't know yet. Now that we actually have our 2 diamonds, we can toss one of them onto the mana pool to get ourselves a mana diamond, and we can then turn that into a mana tablet. There we go. I also want to make a mana splitter because we're not going to be using the Orchid here anymore. So what we can do is we can just put in 3 more mana pools like this, and we can take this mana spreader and just put it, let's say, right on top of this and focus it into the mana splitter. And that way the mana is going to go to all of these 3 different pools. And what we're going to do here with this one is we're going to toss in our mana tablet, and that way it's just going to drain the mana into the mana tablet. And I think it goes 1 full mana pool for mana tablet, I'm pretty sure. So we're just going to let this do its thing, and we can take that and bring it to the nether and get ourselves a few more diamonds and a bit more nether quartz and nether gold if we need to. For the gold and the quartz, I could just go explore the nether, but I really want the nether diamond ore. And I assume you can find diamonds in this dimension as well. Like just going down exploring, you could go find diamonds probably. It's just an easy way to get it. Oh, it's half a mana pool. All right, that's okay. All right, let's see how fast this is going to be. We're going to switch it from the mana pool to from mana tablet to mana pool. And I didn't bring any frozen netherrack with me. Of course I didn't. So while I was waiting, I made a few more igneous extruders. So we're making everything but copper pretty much. So we can just, when we need it, grab a stack of the frozen ore, smelt it, and then process it in the pulverizer. And you can see we're processing a bunch of stuff. And we have already processed a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of redstone, we're getting a bunch of iron and nickel, and all of that good stuff. And one thing that I don't understand is why allow us to make all of the overworld ores, or the frozen overworld ores with the igneous extruder, but not the nether ones? Because if we look at frozen ores, and we say frozen diamond, right? There's only the Orchid Ignum recipe for this. Why can't I make it with the igneous extruder once I get it? Because I had to do the Orchid Ignum and everything. This might be an oversight, but it is what it is. And for the moment, we're just going to make it with the Orchid Ignum. And once we need diamonds, hopefully we can get a few from the frozen netherrack, but we'll see. A bunch of frozen netherrack with me. Here we go. Ooh, it makes also ancient debris. Okay. Oh, and we're done. Well, that was a whole bunch of mana just gone right away. There we go. Pretty much an entire mana pool got us 7 diamonds, 34 nether quartz, and 10 gold. And 3 ancient debris. This takes so much mana. Alright, we need super fast mana production in the nether apparently to make all of the nether ores. And maybe I will post to the developer of Frozenopolis to see about changing it so you can make stuff with the igneous extruder. Because then it's much easier to automate and much less tedious because you can make everything in the overworld and you don't have to pop between the nether and back. And we don't have refined storage, so you would have to actually physically go into the nether, go get the resources, bring them to your main storage, and then use them. So yeah. Before we end off today's episode, I want to get a little bit stronger. I want to make a bit of mana armor because that is going to just allow us to survive outside a little bit better, against mobs at least. So we're just going to get a full set of mana armor. And another thing that I want to get is also a band of mana. And that is basically portable mana. We can just toss this guy onto the mana pool here, and it's going to fill it up. And that, I think, was going to prevent our mana steel armor from taking durability. I think it repairs itself. And we can also make mana steel tools. That could also be a thing. Yeah, we have iron. Why waste our resources on this when we can just easily make all the tools? Let's make ourselves a pickaxe, shovel, axe, and a sword. And I have formulated a plan for the next episode. I want to generate power through the dynamos, and specifically I want to use a gourmand dynamo, and we can use some sort of interesting way with botany pots and all of the seeds that we could potentially get to create some sort of something that generates a lot of power, and we can just use a bunch of these gourmand dynamos and hopefully get us enough power to run our ore operation that we're gonna set up. So that is the plan for the next episode. And sadly, that's gonna have to do it for this one. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm really hoping you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you wanna see new videos, and support me on Patreon as well if you want. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.